This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to the South Today. I'm Daryl Baser. New Zealand is in the second week of being locked down, with the country at COVID-19 pandemic alert level 4. The Ministry of Health says testing is increasing, with more than 3,000 people tested across the country just last week in one day. Things are changing for New Zealand as the global pandemic continues to spread, and the South Today isn't immune to the issues facing the nation, as we all band together to stop the spread of COVID-19. We at Allied Press thank you for your viewership and understanding at this time, as New Zealand joins the rest of the world in doing everything possible to reduce the impacts of the virus. The Southern District Health Board area has now more than double the national rate of COVID-19 cases per population, after 17 new cases in the south were announced today. Across New Zealand, there are 67 new cases, bringing the total to 1,106. The southern region is showing the biggest rise in the number of COVID-19 cases per capita. At today's press conference, Director General of Health Dr Ashley Bloomfield says there are now more than 12 people in hospital.
Today we have 13 people in hospital, including 3 in ICU. 1 is in Wellington and 2 in Auckland. 2 of the people in ICU are in a stable condition and 1 is classified as being in critical condition. And 2 people have been discharged from hospital since our update yesterday and are recovering at home.
Of the new cases, 17 are in the south, the biggest rise of anywhere in New Zealand, bringing the total in the SDHB area to 177. The number of cases linked to the Bluff wedding cluster has climbed by 4 to 62, while the number of cases linked to the World Hereford Conference in Queenstown remains at 32. In Dunedin, the South Today. A 32-year-old Timaru woman has been diagnosed with an incurable blood cancer 2 years ago and says a new drug is the first good news she's had in 2 years. Emma Holden was living in Australia a couple of years ago when she was diagnosed with multiple myeloma and says Pharmac's decision to fund Revlimid is a game changer. What does this announcement mean for you?
Yeah, look, it's a game changer for me. I only have not long found out that I was eligible for it. I've just had a stem cell transplant, so only, as I understand, only patients that have recently had the stem cell transplant actually can have access to this funded drug. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm really lucky, and it's some good news for a change. There hasn't really been too much of that in the last 12 months. So it certainly will change things in terms of being able to kind of get a better quality of life. Means I can stop my chemotherapy or variation of my chemotherapy regime at the moment. And all I will be doing moving forward is just taking a pill every day. Easy as that.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how long ago were you diagnosed? And you said first good news in about a year. So.
So I was diagnosed in June last year. I was living in Melbourne at the time, but it's kind of been a year-long process because the pain that was associated with the myeloma and eventually led me to the diagnosis started about this time last year. It was a long process, I guess, to get to the point of diagnosis in June. And then, the diagnosis was almost a relief because it meant that we knew what was going on and we could just start dealing with it.
Indeed. And if my notes are correct, you're in your early 30s?
Yeah. So I was 30 when I was diagnosed, which is pretty crazy for multiple myeloma. There's not many of us 30-year-olds that have it, and particularly in New Zealand as well. I you're considered, if you have myeloma and you're under 70, you're considered in the young bracket. So yeah, I don't know where that puts me. Infant.
Very, very, yeah, really quite young, and good to see you have a slight smile about it, which is it's important when facing things that are huge.
Yeah, I think everyone said to me that age is going to be on my side. So I guess, yeah, that's something that I've always had in the back of my mind through this process.
So you've had stem cell treatment recently. What prompted you to go down that avenue?
It is almost a standard form of treatment for multiple myeloma for patients that are generally a little bit younger, because it is quite tough on the body. You're basically killing your bone marrow and then forcing your body to rebuild it again. So the process was, we had it was about 6 months of chemotherapy to try and get the myeloma to a controlled level, and then the transplant is the next step, and that's where you hit the myeloma really hard and basically try kill as much as possible, and then start rebuilding a bone marrow with hopefully not too much myeloma cancer cells.
And getting the having stem cell treatment made you eligible for the new regime?
Yeah, so there's conditions around the new the funding of lenalidomide, and those conditions are that you have to have recently had a stem cell transplant, and I don't know why it's why that's the case, and why it's kind of just patients like me that are eligible. I wish, it would be nice if everyone that has myeloma can access this or access the funding, and I think that's what Myeloma New Zealand is pushing towards anyway, is to try and get everyone to have this funding access to this drug.
So where to from here? You said you've been through chemotherapy, and now that looks like it will stop.
So what would have happened is I would have continued a variation of chemotherapy for another couple of months to try kind of support what the transplant has done and help keep the myeloma at bay. So now that I've got access to lenalidomide, I just start that immediately. As soon as it's in my hands. And yeah, as I said, it's a pill that would take each day. It hopefully shouldn't have anywhere near the side effects that I was faced with the chemotherapy process. And I guess it kind of just means that I can start, life's been on hold. And then now that we've got the myeloma in control and restart this drug, it kind of means that we can now, finally take a step forward and start living again and do all of those things that we were looking to, achieve when you're 30 and you've got all these plans.
So you say we, yourself and partner, that sort of thing?
My partner and I. Yeah, so I've got a long-term partner of 9 years. Who's been an absolute legend through this process, and so we have a lot of plans for the future. So we want to start making those plans happen.
Excellent. And you're in South Canterbury, I understand. What part are you from? That's your hometown?
I'm from Gisborne. Little, East Coast. My partner's from Timaru, so we are living in Timaru at the moment so that I can access the great haematology team that is based in Christchurch. So that's why we came that way after leaving Australia.
And so with the nation currently on lockdown, how's that affecting the whole changing of treatment and accessing haematology in Canterbury, in Christchurch, and you're in Timaru?
So far it's actually been pretty smooth sailing. I am able to keep my chemotherapy regime going by being in isolation, so I can do it all at home. The haematology teams do video calls, so we don't need to go see them at the moment. In terms of isolation, I'm actually isolating on my own because I am, being a blood cancer, I am really high risk at contracting COVID-19. And if I did get it, it would, my body's still trying to recover from the stem cell transplant. Best option for me is to actually isolate on my own. My partner's still, he's an essential service, so he's still working. So best that I'm on my own and I can control what's going on.
So you're self-isolating for very, very good reasons. What self-isolation tips would you have that you could share with others?
I love to cook, so I've been cooking a lot and obviously eating a lot because I'm the only person that can eat it. The dog's been eating a lot too, so he's been fed well. Get fresh air. I'm out for walks twice a day. Getting exercise I think is key, and I try and have someone that I talk to over Zoom or house party or whatever. Try and have someone that I talk to each night. So I don't feel alone, to be honest.
As the country reaches the halfway point of a proposed month-long lockdown to prevent the spread of COVID-19, many people are finding different ways of entertaining themselves and others. Taking his music to the front lawn. On Saturday, Dunedin musician Paul Allen spent the better part of an hour entertaining neighbours across the road and passers-by with a set of songs.
As a musician, I get to play a lot of gigs around town, and all of them, of course, are naturally cancelled at this stage. So I'm used to playing and performing, so I thought I'd provide an opportunity for my neighbours in the street where I live to be able to listen to some music, and get a chance for me to play.
Saturday would have been this year's South Dunedin Street Festival, but was cancelled due to the nationwide lockdown. Alan is on the committee which organises the festival and says it was fitting to play a few tunes on the day.
We still need to be able to celebrate everything that we live in this area of town. The flat area of Dunedin is a really important thing. And yes, we're sad that the street festival didn't happen. That's really important that it didn't happen because of the current situation. We couldn't have run it anyway. So today it was nice to be able to get outside in the fresh air, get my guitar, play a few songs.
Fellow Dunedin musician Casey Dixon sang a few tunes from her Mornington porch this morning, while other musicians are hosting live stream events on their own Facebook accounts. In Dunedin, the South Today. Time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the situation, a rather cold southwesterly airflow blows over southern districts this week, with frequent showers on the south coast, but mostly fine and cool weather inland. In the southern towns, Vauclutha, Lumsden and Gore can all expect fresh southwesterlies, showers and 13 degrees. The Catlins should also have fresh southwesterlies and showers with 12 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra are all in for moderate southwesterlies and a few showers with 14 degrees, while Tiano can expect fresh southwesterlies, showers and 12 degrees. Heading north, along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru are due for moderate southwesterlies, showers and 16 degrees for Timaru with 15 in Oamaru. Heading inland, Twizel and Omarama are in line for moderate southwesterlies, a few showers and 16 degrees. In Dunedin, a few showers tonight with southwesterlies developing and an overnight low of 12 degrees. Morning showers should clear tomorrow with moderate southwest winds, a high of 14 and a low of 8. Expect a few sunny periods at first on Wednesday, but a few showers are possible from late afternoon, a high of 14 and a low of 9 degrees. Expect showers tonight in Invercargill with a low of 11 degrees. Changeable conditions during the day tomorrow with a high of 13 and a low of 8 degrees. It's set to still be a little all over the place on Wednesday with a high of 13 and a low of 8. All from the South Today team for this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook. Stay tuned to Channel 39 for the latest updates on COVID-19 from the government. Have a great evening, stay calm during the pandemic, and, as the Prime Minister says, be kind. Tā ki te apopo. See you tomorrow.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.